about sound systems, and we did Yuri's silly example, and some elaboration on that. Was the last thing that I talked about sort of really briefly going over the context-dependent change types?
I think so.
Okay. I figured I went over those perhaps a little bit too cursively. Cursively?
You're a language expert. What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean? The word you just said.
Shortly. I'm thinking of a word.
Cursory. Concise.
Yeah, something like that. Krat.
Huh?
How do you translate that?
I would say it again.
Kratna.
Kratna. That's good. Briefly. There we
Briefly. Okay. So I figured
Kratza.
I'd.
What? Kratza.
No, Kratna.
Well, Czech versus Russian.
Oh, do you speak Czech?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, awesome.
Slavic languages are
yeah.
close.
Okay, so any opinions on? Do you want me to go over the front-back assimilation, et cetera, and give examples for all of those? Would that be useful? Yes. Who cares? Yes.
No.
No.
I'd be more than happy for you to go over all of last week's.
Well, maybe not all of it. There's the stuff that I didn't go over well. Okay. So I mentioned a few different processes that can happen to where you change the underlying representation of the phonology into. For example, and here's where I actually pull out a linguistics textbook and give you examples from the textbook, which you can look at yourself if you so care to. But I would normally try to give you Conlang examples, but that's what that thread is for, because I haven't compiled it yet into something that I can easily cite. But there's plenty of Conlang versions of all this on those threads. So, one is front and back assimilation of place or manner of articulation, etc., voicing, etc., etc. So, one is in English. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if actually this is going to be a test of two things: whether you can read the rule format and whether you understand the Anyone know what that means?
Voice goes for. What's V?
A vowel is nasalized before a nasalized consonant or after a nasalized consonant.
Exactly. So that is in what language? Scots Gaelic? Yeah. That's Scots Gaelic. So, for example, you have more. So, is a nasal, the vowel right following it is nasalized into ah instead of more. So, instead of more, you say more. Nasal. So, ni turns to ni, etc. So, that's one. Any question on that? No? Okay. Let's see. Another is deletion. This is from English. So, So people can actually sit down and take.
What? There.
So, any translate?
Move your head. Thanks. That thing gets deleted when
Do you know what that thing is called?
I used to.
Schwa.
There we go.
It's the generic vowel.
Yeah, when I guess in the context of what's that C thing?
C is consonant, V is vowel.
So no, what's that small thing under the C?
That's a null sign, which is 0 or more,
Okay, so
equivalent to.
when there is 0 more constants followed by a sigma followed by a constant which is stressed. Again, no, followed by a constant and then a verb, then a vowel which is stressed.
Anyone who can translate the other parts?
Does that mean syllable?
Sorry?
Does that symbol mean syllable?
Yes, syllable boundary. So can you translate what that would mean? What would syllable boundary C null V be? Like what sequence does that describe? This, by the way, is called schwa deletion in English. In this rule.
Isn't that pretty?
Idea? Nope. Nope.
The schwa and the
Okay.
consonants.
So the idea is there's a syllable following the one that we're looking at, right? Because there's a syllable boundary after the line, and this is all assuming that it's within one word. So let's say the second syllable, because at minimum there are two, consists of some number of consonants, i.e. the onset cluster, and a vowel, which it has to have in English because we don't have syllables without a vowel. And this vowel happens to be stressed. And there might be stuff after it, but the rule doesn't care. So for the previous one, what it's saying is that the vowel for the previous syllable was a schwa. So it was some number of consonants and then a schwa. Right? So it's saying that in this case, you can just kill the schwa if the vowel of the next syllable is stressed. So can any of you pronounce the phonetic description?
Please.
Police.
Please.
Please. From please. No.
No, because note that that is not a long I.
Yeah.
And it's not a Z.
Z-S.
Not in phonetics transcriptions, they're not. And do you know what the little circle under the L is?
It's not.
No?
Like.
It's in here, rather.
I know it, but I just don't know how to say it in English. It's like.
Do you know how to say it in Spanish?
Yeah, it's like.
Go ahead.
Sorda.
Sorda. Okay. Does anyone else know it in English? Anna? No? Unvoiced. Sorry, unaspirated. Yeah.
Oh,
Or wait. What the hell?
no, it's on board.
Yeah, it's
Voiceless.
unvoiced. Voiceless. I'm confusing myself now. So, yeah, the voiced version is this. If you have to clarify. Usually you only mark it
Can you
when
pronounce
it's
them?
unusual. This is police
And the voice.
versus please versus police.
It
This
sounds
is
like you're changing the stress in the vowel rather than the actual L.
yeah, it's sort of hard to emphasize that if I don't. So this is essentially, instead of saying police or police, so in English we also have something where unstressed vowels get reduced to schwas. So police, if you're not talking about the police, you can talk about the police. So that's from O. And then this reduces it further, so who needs the vowel at all? You just say please. Some people do. Okay, so Is that clear? Any questions on how that worked? No? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes? Good. Okay, so, copy down. Can we erase it now? Good. And this will come up in a minute also. Let's see, so that's deletion. Likewise, you can have insertion. For example, I think my phonetic transcription on this is not perfectly accurate, but my knowledge of Japanese phonetics isn't perfect. So, for example, gee, this is bad. Do.
Now becomes what's that?
It is a central U sound.
Ooh.
Yeah.
When syllable boundary constant something constant. Oh, so it's okay. So constant followed by no.
Oh, it's actually, sorry. This should be.
We've got a little problem here.
There. Now it's fixing this